Hey guys, how's it going? Is the music okay, or is it too loud, or is it just right? Hey Minecraft Transformers. Hey Red Knight. Glad you can make it. Anybody else in the chat want to say hi? Hi King Corn. How's everyone doing this evening? You all good? Just connecting the keyboard to make sure that's working. Cool, that is. Glad you're good. So it looks like this evening we are going to be doing a fur alligator, and we're going to be turning them into a superhero or a supervillain. So hey Galahound19, how are you? Villain. Which is my favourite Digimon and Pokemon? I would have to say Digimon I did like... which one was it? It was the one where they could do the DNA fusions. I think it was the blue and gold one. Was it something like Magnamon or something? I can't remember the name. It was a long time ago since I watched Digimon. Failing that, Greymon was quite a cool one. In terms of Pokemon, I quite like Lucario. It seems to be one of my favourite ones. I don't know, maybe just because I like the fighting type, which is quite cool. Minecraft Transformers, I'm good. I've just gotten in from a martial arts session, so kind of feeling full of energy and ready to do a bit of drawing. Go with the bad guy. Okay, well, we'll turn him to a villain, that's fine. We can always do a... I can always add him to a future video or something. So... what was the best praying you've ever done? Oh, prank type thing. Shampoo with mayonnaise. Nice. Best prank I ever done kinda was I was younger. I'm double jointed, so I'm a bit more flexible, and I made it look like I had a broken leg or I'd had an injury, and I pranked on April the 1st my line leader when I was working as a teenager. He looked very worried on his face, but I was very relieved when he realised my leg wasn't injured. But yeah, I kind of made my leg look like it was not quite right, is the best way to describe it. What about everybody else? What kind of things have you all done? Minecraft likes the Salamence Dragon. Well, that's quite a cool one. Right, so if we're going to do this guy as a villain, I need to think of a pose for him. So let's start sketching out some rough kind of pose ideas. I suppose if he's a villain, we kind of want him to have quite a dynamic pose. So let's just rough out. I'm going to do a bit more of a rough sketch for a hand at the moment, and then kind of adjust it maybe if we need to. Don't know if I like that hand. Maybe I want one that's more... Digimon and a Pokemon fusion. That actually could be a future live stream or something on its own. That's not a bad idea, Red Knight. That's actually quite a cool idea, that one. But this one's just going to be a bit of a straight-ish Pokemon design. I just make him into like a... pretty much into a Oh, that's much better. So let's go to this one. I'm not going to use any reference for the character pose on this one. I'm going to attempt to do this myself without the character reference pose. But I have got, for you all to see, I've got a for alligator dancing above my head, so we've got a bit of a reference. Just hands. Spaghetti Skeleton 008. Villains always have so many details, like cool spikes. Yeah, they do tend to get the cooler and more funkier designs, don't they? Which is quite cool. But it's just one of those ones where it's just have to see how it goes on this one. The community redraw. Okay, so my redraw is coming out on Friday. Obviously, since Popcross is done and redrawing this old art, I expect his is coming out on Friday as well, which is quite cool. It's coming along quite well. I've gotten all the submissions that I'm going to be redrawing or doing something with selected, and I've also got the lore pretty much written out for it all, which is quite fun. I'm doing a twist. It's not a straight redraw, this one. I'm doing a doing something with it, but you know, it's going to be a fun one, so be sure to check that out this Friday. I'll tell you what, King Corn, you're right, you have done that, and you have been about a bit, and I do think that you've always been a good sort of like sport and everything else, so as long as you don't abuse the ability like everyone else in that, and you're respectful and to everyone in that, I think you'll be nicely surprised when you write your next message. Okay, so suppose we want him to have a get the shape of the head this way. And by the way, King Kong, don't feel funny about asking. If I said about it a couple streams ago, you know, and you have been to a few, and you have been popping in and out, it's not a problem for you to be a mod. I'm more than happy to make mods out of those that stick around for a bit and they contribute. Of course, as the channel grows, the number of mods will grow, which is quite cool. So not a problem, King Corn. Also, just a heads up for you guys, whenever because I've got to go to my normal day job at least a couple times a month, and it falls on a Monday, I will be doing a couple live streams a month going forwards. So there's a live stream today. It's starting in October. It will be next Monday and then every fortnight, ideally. But I will put something out to say. We'll be doing a live stream so we can interact, create some rather unique art, and have a bit of fun. As well as some fun videos in between those. So it's a bit of a mix there. Got a hound. Is that to me or just to the chat? If it's to me, who do I admire the most? Michael Jackson, Elton John, or Eddie Mercury? Random question. For their music, I would say that's a tough one. For the music, I'd say equally. There are songs from each of them that I can't choose between. I've got favourites out of all of it. In terms of for just in general, I would say probably Elton John. I like the way he's just himself. He just goes with it, which is quite cool. What about you guys? What's your favourite Pokemon? I've got a couple of questions for you guys this week, or this live stream, asking you guys what's your favourite Pokemon? Body's going to be this way. I've got a bit of an idea for if it's a villain or a superhero, what I was kind of going to draw them as or do based on Feraligator's design, which is quite cool. Galahound likes Metagross. That's quite a cool design. I do like that Pokemon. As I said, my all-time favourite's Lucario. I think I just like the whole concept and the design. It just works for me. But I suppose you could have more than one favourite Pokemon. Well, seeing as a villain's one for now, I'm going to end that poll. Maybe we'll make it so this guy's kind of got a split personality. Sometimes they're a hero, sometimes they're a villain. You like the Moon Legendary one from Sun and Moon? Is that Lunara or something? The kind of like the giant bat one, Minecraft. Wait, sorry, King Corn. Breloom, my favourite, but he has way too many weaknesses. I gotta say, some of the Pokemon do have a few more weaknesses than others, which is a bit of a fun. I don't know, I suppose it is fun if they've got weaknesses. It does make it a bit more interesting on the story, but it's also a bit more of a interesting design aspect. Kind of weird. I don't really have a pose pre-planned for this. I think my plan was to do something Pokemon related because the redraw's got Pokemon and dragons in it, and I know Pop Crosses is Pokemon related from the theme he put out in his last redraw video, which is quite cool. Pure coincidence, by the way, guys. It was literally just a case of I wanted to do something Pokemon wise for a few redraws ago, and yeah, it just happened that he ironically put out a Pokemon theme at the same time, so we've got similar redraws this month. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but thanks for thinking it's a cool drawing so far. Red Knight. Darkrai is your favourite. Darkrai is quite a cool one. I have redrawn Darkrai on the channel, I think as a mech armor at some point when I did Pokemon mech armors. Galahound. I still have something to do with JoJo stands. I also have. I can't say, I can't spoil it. Something stand related is coming up soon in a video, a minor stand type thing. But I think what I want to do is watch more of the Stone Ocean series before I do a stand, just so I'm up to date with the lore and the story for that one, so I can pick and mix doing kind of like JoJo stands with something. Maybe I might do famous anime characters with JoJo stands, but I don't know if Popcross did that, so if he did, I'll do something different. The World was an awesome one, and Star Platinum was quite a cool stand for them to do, which was quite good. This guy's got... How's the pose going to go? Feeling more dynamic for a pose? Maybe they're in motion? Should we do that? Maybe in... motion. I kind of default to this weird leg setup, don't I, every time I do it. If I don't want it to be your standard pose, I'm trying to get like... Maybe I want the leg to go behind a little bit. It's really weird when you start working on parts that you don't draw so often, or you get part of your kind of like your picture you're drawing, it looks good, and then you kind of draw something else, and it just looks a little odd. Oh, this guy's going to have some cool stuff. He's going to have a nice set of spikes, because I quite like the red kind of like spike effect on for alligator. So we're definitely going to have some kind of spikes on this character. Just wondering if I should maybe I should draw more of the human pose a little bit first. Oops. Helps if I have the pen tool and not the eraser. That would be rather useful. In fact, let's get a bit more screen. It may look really weird to people just joining or jumping in, but it's going to have it will make sense, all these random shapes a bit later on when it's drawn. It's just working out which ones work out more useful for the drawing side of things. And that's why. Big gun, bang. I've got a few ideas in mind for kind of a thing for this one. There's been a few suggestions on what we can do with this, so I'm kind of possibly merging a couple of ideas together as we go along, and then we'll make it look a bit more more like for alligators goes along. Guns are a bit overrated. Yeah, guns can be, but maybe because it's a water type Pokemon, I believe we could maybe make a giant, I don't know, water blaster, water cannon. I've got a few. Yeah, Mohawk might be quite a cool design. It's always a bit weird when you draw try and map things out by shape just to get them roughly how you want. Sometimes they kind of look quite cool, sometimes they look a bit odd. Yeah, the pose isn't too bad. Might be a few things I might want to change on it a little bit. Yeah, there is. That arm is one of them. Don't like where it is. I think it needs to be more. Get big hands, but maybe. This way a bit more. Yeah, that looks a bit more established for a kind of design. So what got? I'll tell you what. Another question for you guys is, what's your favourite Pokemon movie? Or Pokemon series, if you haven't watched any of the movies. Because there's hundreds out now, so it's a case of kind of what series do you guys do you like? Do you like the new Master's Journey, Arceus Chronicles, XYZ, Johto League, the original ones? The Rise of Darkrai. That was a good movie. No worries, King Corn. Feel free to jump back in if you can later, and we'll still be going for a little while yet. So, yeah. Red Knight's not really a fan of Pokemon. Okay, Okay then, Red Knight, what's your favourite Digimon? I'll ask your question back at you. Galahound likes the 2000 movie. And that's the one with, isn't that the one with Lugia, Zapdos, Moltres and Articuno? Or is that the one with the Mewtwo that they made the 3D version of as well? Hi Money Fishman, how's it going? Venomized Digimon. Ooh. That's a nice idea, that one. That's going on the list. Be sure to fire that in a comment on something on either this stream or some Red Knight, just so I don't lose it from the super chat. King Corn likes Detective Pikachu because I don't watch the series. No, that wasn't too bad of a film. That was quite a good one. I actually forgot about Detective Pikachu, even though I watched it with my boys. That was quite good. I think because he's kind of a bit of a powerhouse in a sense, isn't he? So he's kind of got, I'm just looking at the design, I've got the reference on the screen in front of me here. So he's got a gaping jaw which we can do something with. He's got those padded bits on which we could probably put into part of the armor. He's got a nice yellow hint to him, part of it, which look quite cool. Yeah, and he's got a tail, so we're definitely going to do something with that. Money Fishman, I am drawing for Alligator, hence the little reference picture above my head, as a super villain. That's what kind of won in the polls for this one. So I'm just laying out a rough pose for a villain in kind of like a bit of a, I don't know, kind of a mechy style armor or something, just so we can give him a few extra bulky bits to match this. I might just use this as like a rough shapes and do that. Speaking of Venom, am I going to do a sequel to Venomized SCPs? Galahound 19, there will be more Venomized SCPs and SCP related videos coming up this month. I'm not saying which one out of that list because I want to keep it a little bit of a surprise, but there will be some SCP stuff happening this month and some Venomized stuff. Well, I say this month, happening in October next month. We're close to the end of it. Being Halloween, I'm going to have a lot of fun with some of the suggestions I've seen, which is quite good. Money Fishman, you and Koi were discussing video ideas when you saw that I was streaming. Is this ideas for his channel or ideas just in general? Hey Raven Hack, welcome to the stream. Galahound 19. The hardest part of running a YouTube channel when people suggest and you get an awesome community is deciding what suggestions you're going to be using for your videos. Especially when it's kind of like drawing and art. It can be a bit tricky at times to figure it out. You know what? I think I'm going to be a bit cheeky on this. I know we are turning for Alligator into a villain. However, we haven't specified what genre, and this is kind of looking a bit mechy robotic. So, what do people think? Put yes in the chat if you're up for this, of making him a kind of like a Transformer Pokemon villain or something like that, or a Mech Armor type villain. Rasputin Ivonic. Hello, I'm Nasty Rasputin and I'm here to skin your Pokemon. Oh dear. Well, hopefully you're gonna at least put them to sleep first before you go to skin them. Although Pokemon seem to be quite resilient to a lot of things, so I'm not sure how well that's going to go down. Ravenhack. I have some stuff to draw, some stuff myself, so I'm going to hang around and leave streaming in the background. Yeah, no, that's cool, Ravenhack. Just jump in if you got any questions, and yeah, enjoy the stream. A futuristic or like a cyborg. Yes, yes. Hey Haley, how you doing? Such a cool idea. Yeah, I think I will make it a bit of a Transformer character. It looks like the majority of the stream want to do that, so it'll be quite cool. Hello, that kind of artistic kid. How are you doing? Oh. That's an interesting idea, Rasputin. Although we do try to keep things a little bit nicer in the stream, but I see where you're going with that. I asked the question earlier, but those new to the stream, what's your favourite Pokemon? If you've got a favourite Pokemon. If you don't really watch Pokemon, I am happy for you to say your favourite Digimon. Red Knight's into Digimon, so that's quite a cool kind of like crossover we might do at some point. Pokemon and Digimon. Maybe we should do Pokemon and Digimon fusions at some point. Kind of like what Red Knight suggested, but actually do a proper video on that. That might be quite cool. Miltank's quite an interesting one. Definitely the more interesting looking Pokemon are the ones that are underestimated, kind of have a bit of an advantage, I think, from time to time. Right, let's just shrink this down a bit just so that I can keep most of it in the view of figuring out the legs. So, I think if we're going for a mech robot one, I'm going to kind of do... I am a big fan of like G1 Transformers, like the... Sounds weird, but sometimes the bulky style is quite cool. So I may add more detail to this. I'm just mapping out rough shapes at the moment for this kind of for alligator mech armor that we've got going. Probably looks wise you'd have to say the shiny show, but overall I'd say the new red legendary. Is that the I had it in the poll, didn't I? Is that the Courade or Courade? I can't pronounce the name, but it was in the poll. The one that turns to the red motorcycle. Sylveon. Ah. A Digipoke. Cenis Draco. I can't pronounce your name today. Cenis Dracosaurus. Welcome for arriving. So what's the story of this villain? I haven't really thought of that. I mean, it depends what universe this villain's in. If they're going to be just a mech armor or a transformer. Because if they're a transformer, then perhaps they're a rogue faction that's not quite a Decepticon or an Autobot. They don't take sides. They're like a mercenary group based on Pokemon or on a planet. Maybe on a... If it's more of a mech armor type thing and it's a person in the suit or even a robot, maybe it could be a similar storyline on that. He's basically a Pokemon being turned into a supervillain, and we haven't decided if he's a Transformer Fulio yet or a Mech Armor. But basically, we're turning Feraligatr, which is just above my head here, I think, into a, well, kind of like a Pokemon Mech Armor, like a Mech Armor thing. So it's going to be quite cool. Made by Team Rocket. I'd like to say it was made by Nexum if it's going to be a Mech Armor or something, then Team Rocket. It might last a bit longer. Megatron got tired of losing to the Dinobots, so he created his own Dinocon. Nice. Yeah, kind of, Bravenhack. I think I do, but I get what you mean. That's the purple one that looks kind of like it's more organic and kind of, yeah. You've got a weird idea where the story could go. Okay, see. Okay, Cenas. Do spill, and we'll see if it's any good. Just remember to keep it kosher. It's the phrase I'm going to use today. Yeah, so we've got a basic shape in, which is quite cool. So if we turn that down a little bit, actually check how much space we've got around it. I need to shrink this down just a little bit. Let's pick a red colour. We'll do a different colour over the top so that we've got a bit of difference on it. That's cool, King Corn. Welcome back. Alright, let's start putting some of these details on. So, Feraligatr's got these spikes on them. I want to incorporate that somehow into the armor as well, but they also have some of these, it looks like patches or like solid scales or something, so we can't have a design without that. Maybe we'll tweak it a little bit. Because the idea is maybe if it's a Transformer, he can turn into the Feraligatr, so we can perhaps put the head as part of the chest part or something, or on the back, so we've got it, or maybe that hand can eventually be the mouth of it or something coming out, which would be quite cool. Zio, hi and welcome to the stream. The idea that Team Rocket member was an experiment to give people powers of a Pokemon but needed a suit, and so the Team Rocket made the member go in the suit. That's an interesting idea. Autocorrect is a pain, but it does happen. I'd like to be a bit thinner on that. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be rather cheeky and maybe turn the... Do we want the hand to be part of the head or something if we're going to do a Transformer? So what, I'm going to put a poll out for everybody. Transformer or Mech Armor? And while that's going on, I can still plan some stuff out, because either way it's going to have its own kind of design, which is quite cool. I do like the hands here, so we will have it's mapped out a little bit. If any of you aren't on the Discord and want to join into the community, feel free to get the link from the channel banner, or if a mod's kind enough, they can put it on the in the chat for everybody. It's a friendly place for everybody to kind of like basically share your artwork and just get helpful hints and tips and chat and hang out. I know a few of you guys are already in there if you're able to. Hey Stephen, welcome to the stream. You'll kind of be pleased. It looks like we're doing for Alligator as a super villain, but as a Transformers super villain. So kind of mixed a few together in the end. Well, thanks for joining that kind of artistic kid. For once you're going to sleep at a reasonable time. Yes, you are. And thank you for sharing the link. Sorry, just get the music back. It's kind of appropriate music now if we're doing a Transformer. By the sounds of that, it's starting to play. That's quite good timing. It does sound similar to the Doom soundtrack, doesn't it? Thankfully, though, this is copyright-free music, and there's a link in the description if anybody wants to use it on any of their channels. I think Koi-Fish supplied the music beforehand. And then, yeah, he let me know about the, I think it's, yeah, it's Create a Mix of the channel name. I believe, and basically it's just royalty-free music you can play on your streams and that, which is quite cool. Steam says maybe I should have added the lore behind this one. I'm happy to take this afterwards, sort of like the stream video, maybe speed up the drawing aspect of it and stick some lore into it to make it a separate video once we figure it out. I am thinking of doing some crossover or some other genre bits to make things more interesting. I've just seen a suggestion by you guys, which it sounds rather cool, like a Doom style Transformer. That could turn out rather interesting. It looks like a Transformer's going to win, so that's fine. It'll be a bit more based on a G1 Transformer, but I'm happy about that. Venomizing 7 Deadly Sin characters, that would be wicked cool. That would be. The only kind of difficulty I've got with that is Meliodas in his demon form. It's kind of very similar to a Venomized symbiote with the black wavy bits of it. It's definitely an interesting idea that can be looked at. It's just one of those ones where it might just be a bit more tricky to pull it off and do it some proper justice, if that makes sense. I do like it though. Maybe anime characters Venomized, and I can pick, if I do pick him, it's not so tricky to do. I do like doing the pencil sketch stage of this. Slight change of subject there.
Before we were using Monday.com, our team was rounding.
It is quite fun to do the drawing bits.
Just took care of all of the management, so we
Need to put the dinosaur claw bit on him.
As soon as we started, we were building and running workflows that made it really easy for me.
Okay, I suppose the next question is, do you guys have a favourite Transformer, since we're covering Pokemon, Digimon, Transformers and everything else in today's stream, in terms of the chat? If he's a Transformer, I'm going to make him similar to a Predacon in a sense, and I'm going to put a... If I can map this out properly. hopefully I'll do some justice on this design for the kind of chest piece, because it's going to be a bit of a I might need to get a better reference picture of our Pokemon, just to make sure I get the face right from the angle that I'm in. Kind of make it like a Predacon with like the head on the chest bit, so it's kind of like a proper cool effect. Bumblebee, Slag, yeah, there's some cool. Grimlock, oh, that's classic. And I do know that there is a request to do Grimlock versus Soundwave. We're not far from 2000. If we get to 2000, I might not be able to do it straight away, but my plan is to probably do Grimlock versus Soundwave, which was suggested, with a bit of lore, and have them battling within the multiverse story arc that's been happening. So they will eventually be maybe venomized by the end of it, which will be quite cool. Not entirely sure about that, but I will do something with Grimlock and Soundwave against each other, because that was a rather cool and interesting idea. So yeah, that would be quite fun. I think I found my reference picture to use for this, but that means this might have to move out a little bit. But yeah, I'll do a community post out, because I think we're about 15 subscribers away from 2K, so that'd be quite cool. So this needs to potentially have that there. It's kind of a bit for the chest. Kind of a slit here, and I think I'll just give him a miniature kind of spike here. Reference pictures are a great help for anybody doing any drawing. I can't stress that enough, but make sure you use it as a reference, you don't do a straight copy. And if you do a straight copy, it's more a case study and give credit to the original artist. I'm obviously looking at the Pokemon pictures to get a reference, like we've got for Alligator above me, and on my other screen I've got a slightly different pose for it. But by all means, you know, be kind to those who you're borrowing references from. If I heavily use something heavily from someone's design, other than the characters, like you guys know, if I'm drawing a Transformer, I'm drawing a Transformer who I say, but if I'm trying to say it's an original character, I'll change enough of it to make it original, which is quite cool. But I thought I'd just say that when I said about references, because it's a good tip to have. Benjamin, I am going to do a drawing my original characters. It's not decided if it's a live stream. It may be a normal video drawing them, or it may actually be a redraw where I get people to submit designs on what they think the characters would look like, or a couple of them may go down that route. I haven't decided completely yet. I will be drawing probably Erenfold and Nexon without the mech armor at some point, but the other narrators may be going out to a community redraw at some point. But there are plans to draw them on the channel, and it is in my list of things to do. I think the most interesting one's probably going to be a cross between Erenfold and Demonica once they're drawn. Those will be quite cool ones to do. Hungry shark characters as mutants, harmless animals as scary kaiju. They're good ideas. It would be quite interesting to see how they come out. Anybody else think his kind of like chest plate's starting to look more like a bird at this point in time before I add the colours and the extra bits? I don't know. I think while turning it into kind of like a Pokemon design, I think I've kind of or the Transformer design, sorry, Pokemon design. Of course it's a Pokemon design. We're drawing a Pokemon. As a Transformer, I think I've kind of perhaps made it a bit more bird-like. Maybe I need to bring something out a bit more, just Yeah, but it's about the right spots for it. Maybe this needs to come down just a little bit more. It'll be quite interesting to see how this turns out. I'm really excited to see what happens with this one because it's going to be quite cool. Transformer Skylanders. Not a bad idea. I could turn more Ben 10 aliens into demons. I do have more demon videos coming up, and there will be some more Ben 10 ones as demons. There are some series which I really did enjoy doing that I haven't had a chance to in a while because I'm just trying to vary it a little bit. Ben 10 as demons is definitely coming back with our lovely new demonology lecturer, Demonica Darkstorm, giving a bit of info on them. I will be doing that at some point. Is that supposed to be spooky month idea instead of spoopy month idea? Although maybe we should do a spoopy month for October one year. That might be quite a fun, crazy fun bit. Got that bit. I think the bit that's missing to make this really work is probably this jaw that we've got to draw. It is quite weird drawing things as like making my own transformer out of them because they it's kind of what version do you go? It's almost like it could be a Beast Wars or Poke Wars version, but at the same time I kind of want to. That's for the tongue. That's just so I know that's a different colour. Let me ink that out just to give that mouth a little bit more depth. Kind of feel the eyes are wrong. I know I've tried to make them transformery, but I think I should make them more the original eyes. I think that's what's throwing me. It's starting to look like something from the Dark Crystal instead of Pokemon. Saying that, I think it's starting to look more like the Dark Crystal now than right. This might be starting to look a little bit more. In fact, why am I doing an eye there? I suppose it would be there, but it's not. It's more there because of the way that the face is going to come out and back in. That's kind of looking a bit better. I'm not. I'm not totally convinced at this stage, but we'll see how it turns out. It's going to be interesting. You got the feeling your original character, Dr. Virus, is in the live chat. Why would that be, Red Knight? Okay, so we've got that bit. We've obviously got a bit there on the design. I think we're making it like a Gen 1 Pokemon. Actually, no, that can be like that because I'm going to make that part of the... It's a funky... Actually got to go that way. I'm not sure if that's too large yet, or just about the right size for the tail. Hey Gopher Dude, welcome. Glad you could make it. How are you going? Well, how's your day been, really? Thanks, Gopher Dude. I'm not sure on the face that's on the chest yet. I'm still not convinced I've got that right. Maybe it's a bit too flat for the design. It needs to come out a little bit more. But I'll see what happens in a minute. I'm trying to get that kind of... Yeah, I think that is the problem, actually. I think the face is looking a little bit too far back and flat. How am I going to do this to get this sorted? Something's not quite looking right on this, and this is the bit that's bugging me. You know when you're you draw something and you're like, this doesn't sit right with me. I tell you what. I'm just going to start that bit again. The process of drawing, which is great fun. Yeah, go for dude. It does look really weird. Ah, now Galahound. There is a simple reason for that. As much as I'd love to show all the submissions, I don't have as much time. Well, there's two reasons. One is sometimes I don't have enough submissions to show or make it boost out a little bit, which I'd love to do. But the other one is I don't always have the time to add them into it, since I've got the 9-to-5 job as well. So I'm hoping to add more of them into it and plan them ahead to get them going. It's just a case of, if I can get I think if we can get the community a bit larger, I'll be able to have more submissions to go in. There are a couple from email every now and again, and there's a couple from the actual sorry, there's a couple from sort of like Discord, but it varies depending what the topic is. So if I can get on average, say 20 submissions easily every time, then I'll be happy to add the other submissions in there and do the shout out for people. Unfortunately at the moment it's still quite new and quite small, so it's a bit difficult to do that, to show the other ones in kind of like a rolling effect or something. I also want to find a rather unique way of doing it. I don't want to just have them show up rolling on screen. Maybe have some kind of, I don't know, slideshow effect or something, which would be quite good. But yeah, right, let's... Okay, I know what I'm going to do. New layer, let's get this sorted. I'm actually just going to sketch out the head from the Pokemon reference picture I've got. I'm just going to copy it, pretty much its head pose at the moment. That's too low down. That looking a bit better. Go for dude. This one's a villain, so it's going to be an evil one. So maybe I'll change the eye up on this a little bit. But at least I've got the. I think I've got a better shape down now for the overall design of stuff. You know what? I'm going to make that into a kind of a. Change the angle of that just slightly. Oh, that's looking much better. What do you guys think? That's looking a bit better, isn't it? Cool. Have I missed anything? Kind of looks better about then. It does, but I'm trying to get a kind of like a Predacon effect on its chest. If I can't get the head working, I'm going to move its position somewhere and make it something else. A Go for Dragon Livestream. That could be quite interesting. Right, so we've got that point. I kind of want to just add the. Venomized Toothless, welcome to the stream. He's becoming a villain transformer, so a bit like a Predacon. So it's kind of like a super villain transformer in the end. You could probably get a better idea that it's kind of like almost like a Gen 1 design from this. We're just slowly trying to put the details in bit by bit to figure out what we're going to do for it. I've still got to design the transformer head, but I'm also working on a few other elements as we go along, trying to get a few aspects in there that just shout for alligator really in this design. It's just a few key bits in there, but yeah, we're just going to see what happens and how we get along. How's your day been anyway, Venomized Toothless? I think his arm bits can have. I want the arms to be a bit more square in design, just to give a bit more of that Gen 1 feel that I quite like. I don't know why, there's something about the Generation 1 Transformers, I think it's because I just grew up with them. I quite like some of the blocky designs at time. Just think it ties in quite nicely as part of the rest of what we're working on. I mean, this could be a Transformer / battle suit, but yeah. It's that time of year. Venomized Toothless is colds all round. My youngest had a cold last weekend and he's just recovering from it, and a few others I know are picking up colds here and there, so it's definitely that time of year. We need to have... yeah. That's a design element for later. I'll tidy that up in a bit. It's kind of like going to be a 3-part stage on this. We've got a rough kind of like skeleton. We're putting a mech bit on top, and then we'll ink on top of that. Red Knight, it's nice that you've got no college tomorrow. I unfortunately have work tomorrow. And a nice early wake up before 8 o'clock, so it's like 11:15 here now, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I say it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting in a sense. I think next time we do a Transformer, I'll pull up a Gen 1 actual design. So what is my day job now? My day job hasn't changed. I'm basically a techie person, web designer. So that's my 9 to 5 day job. And then I do this in my spare time in between all my other bits and bobs that I do, work on, sort, figure out, make happen and work from time to time. I think I want to perhaps add some more details on, so I want to put on bits. Need to have some form of we're going to bulk this character out a little bit. I want to add to the design potentially it's well, you'll see what I'm doing in a minute, but potentially it's make it that way? No, I don't like that bit. That possibly needs to be a bit more interesting in design. That's not right. Much better for that. I suppose I kind of want that on the back as well. So the legs, I've got these patch bits on it, which I will make the actual, to make the kneecaps look similar in a sense. Maybe add some extra bits on the side to try and you just notice the music. Yes, Galahound. Koi Fish kindly pointed me to some copyright-free music, which is quite cool. So we've got that going in the background to just add a little bit extra and drown the fan from the laptop out a little bit, which is quite cool. There. Unfortunately, Galahound, that kind of artistic kid's gone. He's been and gone today, so Loki might have to remain hungry. Is that right? That angle's wrong. Right idea, wrong angle. Now we need to... Gen 1s kind of have this... kind of design to them where they've got a... I think that'll kind of work. It's a bit of a cross between a Gen 1 transformer and like a mech armor. I think we just... I'm going for what kind of feels right. So I think we're kind of getting a bit more of a more organic, kind of like a transformer-ish design on this one. What do you guys think so far? Did I call you Gopher Dude? If I did, I do apologise. I don't think I did, but I would have to go back. You both start with a G, so kinda, maybe, I don't know. I'll apologise to your master Loki when I meet him next. Cool. Glad you guys are liking how it's coming out. I need to I want to figure out this arm before we start on the feet. What can I do for this arm? Because that's kind of the tail, but the tail comes into that, but I want it to be more of a... kind of mishmashed. That's okay, the tail's kind of organic shape anyway, so how about we make it into a... yeah, let's make it into a actual... I'm not sure that's long enough for the tail yet, but I think so. I am taking inspiration from the the Beast Wars ones with the dinosaurs for the way this tail's kind of going to look. A bit like a drill. Hey Justin, how are you doing? Welcome to joining this. I can't talk today. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're enjoying how things are turning out on this. We're taking for Alligator and we're turning it into a villain transformer. We'll just see how this character design kind of comes out. I think we'll do the face last. We'll work out that. Crocomus Prime. I like it. I'm not sure. We haven't got a name for the character yet. I guess that's for you guys to put in a poll. Put some suggestions in, and I'll make a poll for it, and we can see what we come up with. I do apologise, Gopher Dude. I'm very untrustworthy with names, especially after a long day. Crocotron, maybe. It's based on for alligators. So have we got any based on for alligators name? Maybe I don't know. We'll figure something out. You're locking that name in. Which one? Crocotron or Crocomus Prime? Some of these details might not show up after the inking. Crocomus Prime. Feralitus Prime. Tell you what. Guys, I'll just put it in a poll, make it easier. I've stuck it in a poll, make it easier, just so that we don't have to worry about adding them all back and forth. No worries, Red Knight. Thank you for joining the stream, and I'll catch you next time, or I'll catch you in the comments, or wherever I find you. But yeah, thanks for joining, and enjoy your day off tomorrow. Feel free to jump back on later if you're about and we're still streaming. I'm not sure what time I'm finishing yet. I probably at least want to get the inks and the flat colours done, so it's probably going to be about an hour or so yet. Oh no, you can still be a prime and be a villain. You had the Fallen, you've had a is it Sentinel Prime from Dark Side of the Moon. So you can have primes that have fallen, or they were primes originally. For all we know, it could be in a universe where everything swaps around. Primes are villains and Trons are the heroes. That would be quite cool if it was that. That would be rather nice. I just need to check that I'm still got copyright-free music playing. Cool. Still copyright-free. How many likes have we got on the stream at the moment, guys? I don't even know how many people are actually in the stream, but yeah. What happened to Titanium Prime? Like shattered glass. I've missed a part of this conversation, I guess. Oh, no, shattered glass was the Transformers thing that I was being told about the other day. I feel like we should go for Feralitus Prime because it's a Pokemon, not an alligator. And it is an alligator, not a croc. 14. 16 likes, 5 watching. Oh, that's cool. Oh yes, Nemesis Prime, the Optimus Prime kind of like clone based off him, like his brother. It's like his dark twin. Depending which storyline you got, it's kind of like Prime from the future is in, I think it's the War on Cybertron series. chunky leg designs. And then down and around to do the how do I do it on the other side? Oh, I know. It's the one thing when you're doing this sometimes is you draw something and you think, wait, how did I do that a minute ago? Yeah, I'll just fit like that. You can be placing it on somewhere. Right. Gullet design is kind of a head design in a minute. That's going to be interesting. How are we going to do that? I'm kind of wanting to keep the colours quite similar to his original design, so it's really obvious to anyone seeing it what he is. I might make him a bit darker and grungier, or give him a bit more of like purple eyes on the actual robotic head that we're going to draw here now. But for the most part, I kind of want to do his colours kind of similar to the scheme he's got, even if we make it a bit more darker or purpley and add a few extra hues in that are a bit more evil colours. But we'll get to that bit because I've got to ink this yet. So a transformer head, I suppose generally I want him to have a classic Gen 1 kind of shape here, and then the rest of his head's kind of just going to flow from this really almost like a Optimus like starting point, but that's just to map out bits of the head because I want to give him spikes. Now he's got a mohawk. Oops, the start's still on. Kind of like that. Something's not sitting quite right with this design.
space helps me to easily sell my services online. I can present my portfolio of artwork, so
Right, the moment of truth. That's our current design. Kind of does look a bit like a fantasy armor, doesn't it? That's our current design for our Alligator Transformer villain. Might tweak a few things as we go along in the inking, but I think that's at a good enough stage to start our next element. Which will be properly bringing this one to life. I think I might need to tidy up the head a little bit. I'll leave the poll going for a bit. We're kind of like close in what's going to happen for the name, but let's start working on this. So, I suppose the question for you guys is, what kind of series would you like to revive on the channel or see more of that we've got? I mean, one suggestion was more Ben 10 aliens as demons, which was quite cool. I will at some point be doing the narrators on the channel, which is going to be even cooler. It's going to be quite fun. But are there any series that have kind of like been missing for a bit, or you've seen one off and you want to be, you know, you want more? I suppose it's a good time for you guys to, well, you got me one-on-one to let me know. Go for dude. There will be some more demon stuff, and there will be some more of the main channel plot, but there's a couple of main channel plots that we've got going. The first main channel plot is the multiverse story arc, but looking to kind of expand more on that as we go along. We've got a few nice smaller series that are quite cool on there. I do need to do more on the multiverse story arc actually, but I think the site's kind of changed a little bit. Oh, the channel's kind of changed a bit in terms of the actual main focus. I think the narrators and that have taken over the channel with their multiversal travels. Rosario and a Vampire series, possibly. Dragon Rider armors like from How to Train Your Dragon. Possibly. I do at some point need to add in a potential, I say potential, I have a couple narrators that I'm going to be adding in at some point, and they will... one's going to be in a universe that has nothing to do with my narrators currently. And one's going to shake things up a little bit, which will be quite fun. Not a fun fact, adverts pop up at the wrong time. But no, I'm kind of looking to bring some more narrators in at some point. However, I don't have voices for them yet. Benjamin says, it would be cool to see if I did more video game characters into dragons, like Five Nights at Freddy animatronics, Mario characters, Sonic characters, more Pokémon's Mech Armor characters. Yeah, I will be doing more Mech Armor stuff as well. Obviously, the main ones from the narrators will be continuing on the channel. They're the ones you guys kind of like the most, the ones with Nexum and Ehrenfold, and just the fun chaos that we have from them. I've got to say, I am getting better at doing the voices for them, bit by bit for the characters, so I can jump in and out of them a little bit from time to time. It does take a little bit of getting used to and getting in the mindset to start with, but once I do, it's quite straightforward to jump between characters now. Especially Nexum and Ehrenfold, I find they're easier for me to bounce between, which is quite good. But yeah, it's kind of I want to balance out the characters a little bit more with whatever's. But we'll see what happens on the channel. Thinking it would be really weird if I'm doing a live stream at some point and Popcross popped in. You know, just one of those like, oh, hi type moments. But yeah, I can just wait. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Although I will be doing more live streams. Which is quite cool. I know some people want collabs. So, other than Popcross's channel, are there any other like channels you think might be cool to potentially do a collab with? Maybe some suggestions. There's a few I've got in mind, but they are much larger than me. So, yeah, that might not happen. Venomized Toothless wants Star Wars. Go for dude. If I could do a collab with Jazza, that would be awesome. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but that would be insane. Same as ADC Art Attack, Martin Abel, and a few others. Those would be really cool if I could get out there with those guys. But you know, over time, perhaps we will see. However, the main focus is always going to be the community and you guys and the content, because without you guys, I wouldn't have a chance at any of that in the first place. But also without you guys, I wouldn't really have as much engagement and as many cool designs on the channel. It was quite a bit of a push from you guys to do narrators on there after the shout out I received from Popcross. I have to say, it was one of the more terrifying moments trying to come up with voices, and the first time I did Nexum was I don't think I've been that nervous in many years. It was don't know how the characters are going to go down, and now it's just a case of, yeah, I'll just plan out a character, maybe figure it out, see what happens, and just go with it, which is quite cool. So yeah, thank you guys. maybe Jazza can teach you the way of the cultist. Have you seen what he does to teddy bears and baby dolls? I haven't. I've seen what he does to miniatures and tales like Red Riding Hood and stuff like that, but I don't think I've seen what he's done to teddy bears. To be honest, I haven't watched a few of his videos in a while, and I do need to catch up on some of them. There's some artists on YouTube that I think are absolutely amazing, and I just have not had the chance to see any content from them or anything properly in a while, which is weird because I'm always on YouTube between doing my own stuff, watching Popcross's videos and watching some other stuff. I do like watching paranormal stuff. Kind of perfect considering October's happening and we've got our lovely Halloween month, which would be quite cool. Could try making an original Powers team. Maybe. That would be quite interesting. Oh, I do have something rather special lined up, but it's going to take me a while to sort it. Power Rangers versus Transformers video when? When I feel I can draw a Power Ranger to any justice, or a Transformer fighting them. But yeah, that'd be quite interesting. No, I'm planning something rather cool. Well, I think it's going to be cool, but it's going to take me quite a while to do it. It's probably going to be my biggest project on the channel to date, is all I will say. What's the next Loki episode? Loki isn't going to be in an episode just yet. He was in the last Community redraw, so he won't be in this one. He will be in a future one. There will definitely be references to Loki popping up from time to time in October. And I will probably drop that picture. If you're okay with it, dude, I'll probably drop that little headshot picture of him in when we talk about him from time to time in the video. But as in Loki actually in a video properly, it's... Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. It's going to be a bit later on down the line. I kind of want to build up Loki's cult and group and clan and stuff a bit to put him in properly. I don't want it to be like he's a one-off. Because he's gone down so well on the server, on Discord, because you've pretty much taken over it with Loki. I'm going to... He's probably going to be the first major nemesis, or one that pops back and forth. But that also depends on how it gets written in and what happens. The story's going to develop. Loki will have more appearances, I can promise that. I just don't know exactly. I say don't know exactly. I'm the one doing all the work for the story. I haven't decided exactly when I'm going to fit him, that battle in with him in more detail. Not because I don't want to, I definitely do. I just want to do justice to the story and make sure it kind of gets everybody. It's good. Hey Ronald, thank you for popping in and saying hi. If you can stay for a bit, it's great. If you need to shoot, then by all means shoot, but I do appreciate it. Before you go, can you smash a like on the video if you haven't, or video on the stream if you haven't already? And then yeah, I hope you're enjoying this. In case you're wondering, we're taking Feraligatr from the reference above me, and we're turning Feraligatr into a evil transformer, or a villain transformer character. So we're having a lot of fun on this one. Assuming you're still in the chat as I'm saying this. If not, that message was for you, and well, hopefully you're watching the whole stream back. At some point. Adverts, go away. There we go. Bit more music to chill to as we work on some more aspects of this picture. This illustration of our Transformer we haven't exactly named properly yet, but I think it's coming along quite nicely. I quite like the cartoon look to this. I'm glad you like. Well, I'm glad you love it. What if DC Heroes evolved like Pokemon? Oh, Justin, that is a very nice idea. That's actually a really nice idea. If I use that, I will give you credit, Justin, because that's quite a cool concept. Inking's kind of one of the tougher parts to do on this. It would be cool to see a Venomized Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics and maybe something with Monster Hunter. That'd be quite cool. I've had a I'm not going to say what it is because it's a potential video, but I have had a suggestion around animatronics, and it's a I think it could be a rather cool video, which would be quite good. Could I write using the symbiote? If I had a symbiote, I'd probably get him to be drawing for me. So while I'm working on one thing, he can be working on the next thing. Double production. And if the question wasn't aimed at me, then, or I've misunderstood it, I apologise, but it's my stream. What about the daycare attendant sun drop and moon drop? Would the symbiote change colours? But he needs a backstory. Yeah, we are working on a backstory for this one. We've got a few possible ones in the, well, one or two suggested in the chat, and we've got potentially a couple that might actually be used. What I am planning to do though is for the live streams where we've got the characters, I am thinking of once we've got enough characters together, maybe do a variety, well, a live stream variety episode where perhaps we have the sped up version of this but with some lore for those who want to watch it, because I guess people often don't want to watch a full live stream, they want to click through it, but the time lapse or the quicker version of these might be better. I need to find a way to repurpose the actual kind of like the artwork used, the video process and that, to just make it stand out a bit more, make it work. Poison Mushroom Cookie, can I please make a steampunk video? I have been wanting to do something steampunk related. I guess I could do. It would be quite interesting. I'll have a... Let me have a think of what I could do for that one. I'll put it on my list of videos to do. Usually if I say I'm going to do something in a live stream, it'll come out within a month or two of me saying it, if it's a video. So I will do a steampunk video at some point in the near future. I will see if I can slot one into October. If not, it'll be probably at the start of November. But I have been wanting to do one for quite a while, and I guess it's just finding the right thing to do. Maybe video game characters as steampunk or something. That'd be quite cool. Ben 10 into steampunk. Maybe steampunk aliens from Ben 10 might be a cool one. I'll tell you what, I'll put a poll out with a load of steampunk ideas nearer the time, and we can go with that. It should be quite cool. But yeah, Poison Mushroom, I think you've just secured a steampunk video in the near future. So well done on that. Is the stream going okay? Because it looks like the song's having trouble buffering a minute. So you guys hear me okay? Is it all okay other than the music doing a little bit of a funky start and stop? I tell you what though, if I'm going to do steampunk, then I am going to have to watch a few streams from Martin Abel. If you haven't seen his artwork before, he does a lot of fantasy artwork, digitally and traditionally. He does it from time to time. He does have a YouTube channel, but he does do some live streams, and I spoke to him on a few of them before, which is quite good in terms of just in the chat, like you guys are now. But he has some absolutely amazing artwork and fantasy style artwork. It is insane, and he's got a few steampunk designs in there, which work rather well with what he's done. So that could be something to learn a bit about. A kaiju narrator, that would be cool. I am looking to get narrators that are different to Popcross's. I want to have a narrator before he's got one of a certain type, and I'm hoping, well, there's only a few options available, but I'm hoping to come up with a narrator and release a new one in October. If all goes well, there'll be a new narrator on the channel in October, which will be quite cool. So that's going to be fun. A steampunk narrator. Oh, that would be awesome. Vampire narrator. Need to figure the narrators out then if I'm going to do that. It depends on how much of a sub niche I want to go, because I've got a demon narrator which can kind of cover vampires and monsters to a degree. If we think that vampires will fall under the demon category. If they don't, then it'll be down to another type. Jaegers! Funnily enough, I was watching Pacific Rim the other night, the first film. I kind of like those ones, so I just put it on for something in the background and ended up watching it while I was typing up some lore, which was quite fun. I tell you, out of the narrators, because you guys are here, I'm going to end that poll. How many can I add in a poll? 4. Perfect. We won the poll, Mr. Stark, I mean Gopher. What if the steampunk narrator is a kid that has an uncle that makes steampunk things? Possibly. I do know. Oh, that's could be an interesting one. Do people have objections if the steampunk narrator meets the mech armor narrator, Nexum? If I go down the route of doing a steampunk narrator, because I've had a couple of requests for something, and maybe, just maybe, I can merge two universes. I am thinking of doing a narrate. Once I've got my narrators drawn, I will check it's okay first, because I don't want to just go and do it, since they are someone else's original designs. However, potentially I might do a narrator fusion episode. That would be quite cool. However, I need to obviously check with Popcross that it is okay to do that, because I don't want to just assume and take his characters and use it. Kind of a respect. He's done a lot for me on the channel with shout outs and stuff, so you know, he's been very kind and helpful to give my channel a boost here and there, so it's going to be a quite interesting. I've got a lot of humble respect for him, because he didn't have to do that, and he didn't have to, you know, do a couple shout outs afterwards and stuff after he first mentioned my channel. But it was awesome, and I really did appreciate the fact that he took the time to do that. Completely blew my mind, and it's a bit surreal to think that I have a conversation. I do chat with him from time to time. Not anything in depth or major, by the way. Just general asking questions and advice on stuff, or and that, or posing some questions back that people have kind of like asked me. But no, it's been really surreal to think that somebody who you watch and follow on YouTube, kind of like, yeah, just kind of has been really awesome and helpful to your channel. It's one of the nice things about the art community. People like to give back, which is quite cool. So as my channel grows, I hope to give back more to you guys. The little girl from My Hero Academia, oh, Aerie, is it, or Hatsumi, met Tony Stark, decided to manage the meet up between Nexum and the steampunk kid would go. Possibly. Yes, you did, Benjamin. You did give the idea of the fusions. Well, you did it to me. I don't know if you've done it on Popcross's video, but you have mentioned it on mine, on one of my other videos, in the comments, I'm sure, which is quite cool. I do like the idea that people want to see like collabs, or they like both the content, you know, his content and mine, and want to do something quite cool together. It is quite nice that people take an interest in what I'm doing, and you know, I kind of hope that I'm at least I'm nowhere near his as good as him at most of the stuff that he draws, you know, the same genres, but I kind of hope you guys enjoy it just as much as you do his. I have to say, I do love his content. I will be watching, probably tomorrow, I will be watching his video, because today's one, he's redrawing his old art, or the worst art on his channel, and I think that's an awesome idea. And maybe in a year's time, I'll be redrawing some of my art on my channel. There's so many fun things we can do. It's kind of a... Just got to wait and see what happens. Fusing Podcast and Dempsey's avatar video. Yeah, that would be quite cool. I mean, we have actually had the first... We've had a collab with him. Mini collab. With Sharp versus... Sharp when Sharp meets Nexum, or Sharp... No, Sharp versus Nexum was the video I called it. And Popcross was kind enough to voice his characters and send me the video to put in for that, which was absolutely insanely awesome. He was happy for me to draw Benny Sharp and to have an interaction between them. I rewatched so many of his videos to get Benny's personality down for that. That was an awesome bit of work. It took me 3 days to write the script for that. That was absolutely fun. 3 days on that script, just to narrow it down, and a few minor tweaks from Christian, and yeah, we had some rather funny moments with that Scrap Heap Bonanza video. That kind of took off from him doing a kind of like a shout out about it, which was just, yeah, that was just awesome. Oh, I know what I want to ask you guys. Yes, go for dude. I don't really have an avatar. That is going to be something that will be changing at some point. We will be working on an avatar for the channel, which will probably be similar to my face in a... It's either going to be me or one of the narrators after they are drawn as the channel avatar. Kind of want Nexum in a sense if I do a narrator, because he was the first narrator. He kind of... They all span off from him. But at the same time, I do like the idea of having an avatar of me, but I also want it to be a... I need it to be something quite cool. A narrator that owns a pet store and has weird pets. That'd be quite cool. Maybe that could be... That sounds kind of like a pet chronicler or something, or... I don't know. We could have something quite fun with that. It's really weird trying to come up with new characters, because at the moment I can only do about 3 to 4 voices plus my own. So it's quite interesting. Nexum forms the League of Narrators. Yeah, so it won't be name collected like the Sharp Gang or anything like that, but I do like the Ring of the Sharp Gang. That was quite cool. But yeah, Nexum's kind of the he's kind of the glue for the group once they get together. You can tell that him and Aaron, from the adventures on the episodes already, him and Ehrenfold have got quite a good kind of like almost like a not exactly a bromance, but they're well, yeah, it is kind of a bromance. They respect each other a lot, and they've been through a lot together on the channel in the Venomized SCP's adventure, and it's kind of brought them closer together, like they're almost like brothers. You know, they're kind of like kindred souls from the adventure. Ehrenfold's kind of like the Ehrenfold's just Ehrenfold. Just a really crazy I say crazy, just a really enthusiastic beast slayer, really. Or slayer, yeah, just a beast slayer. He finds a beast he doesn't know, he wants to fight it. If he finds a beast he does know, he wants to fight it. Anything to, you know, make him feel alive, really. But yeah, it's a... I don't know. Have I told any of you guys kind of where the inspiration from Nexum came from. So who are all the narrators? At the moment, for us Go for Dude, the narrators are myself. Well, I say me, it's my normal voice, and that's kind of like the kid that you get Nexum talks to, or the security guards usually. And in terms of who's the... So we've got the kid and the security guard, and kind of like anything else, like the SCP narrator talker or the general story talker is me and my voice. We've got Nexum's voice, which was... I don't know if any of you know the UK sitcom Red Dwarf with Crichton, Lister, Rimmer and the cat. If any of you do, then there was an episode in that where Rimmer, who's like a hologram character, this is quite an old British sitcom. It's like going back a couple of years now. Rimmer is kind of like he's kind of like the complete embodiment of rules and regulations. But there's one universe they come across where it's where it works out to be he's got like a cool counterpart called Ace Rimmer, and he kind of speaks like Nexum. And it wasn't until after I'd tried doing the voice for Nexum and listened to it back, I realised he kind of had that tone and voice. So I kind of based the character on that. He's got confidence in himself to a degree, and nothing really phases him. Well, almost nothing phases him, but he's kind of got the whole sort of like, I'm a genius. I'm the guy to go to. So, you know, you want a mech armor? You got to Nexum. What have I forgot? How do you enter in the community redraw? Ronald, so the one for this month's closed, but if you want to enter in October's, I will announce a theme at the end of Friday's video. It's right at the end of the video, where I do my talking about what I've drawn. At that point, there's an email address which will be in the description below if you're not on Discord, which is redraws@DempseyJ-illustrations.co.uk. It's on the bottom of most of the videos while the options are open. Just email your design into that. Just take a photo of it if it's hand drawn, attach it to an email, give me the bit of lore for whatever goes with the theme, and then just send it in. Let me know it's, you know, what name you want me to use for who it's from. So if you want me to use your YouTube name, just let me know it's you, and then I just wait until the submission deadline and I select a load which are cool or haven't been done before, and just take it up from there. Yeah, Benny Sharp does kind of phase Nexum a little bit. I say phases. He's under Nexum's skin a little bit, which is quite cool. But I think the story behind that is Nexum's always been the #1 in his universe and his area. So as he started branching out to different dimensions and met Benny Sharp and got bested by him, he's kind of had a bit of a knock, and he doesn't know how to deal with that. So there's a bit of personal growth there, which is quite cool. Yes, Venomized Toothless, you are right, and Go for Dude, he's right. It was sending a Pokemon or a dragon, and then I was going to do something with that. So I've done something with those and nearly finished writing all the scripting out the community redraw, ready to record it. So the artwork's going to be worked on probably tomorrow and the rest of the week, but the video is pretty much going to be sorted in terms of what the editing is and what the twist is. That's not a problem, King Corn. I'm having a drink and I'm going to munch on a polo or something in a second just to keep me going. Oh, I'm from the UK, so for me, it's kind of like almost 12:30, middle of the night. I've been up since like 7. I didn't go to sleep till like 2:30 yesterday. Work projects, but yeah. So it's kind of quite fun that the time zone bit's a bit getting used to, but I think I've got a good balance when I do a stream. If I start at 10 o'clock here, most places it's kind of the afternoon, so it's not too bad, which works out quite well. Because the Department of Multiversal Madness guy said Ben 10, then Nexum 40 said Benny Shot. Oh yes, that I could not resist putting that in. That was, I like little bits like that. I think my favourite bit ever, and go for dude, you have made me laugh the most at this bit, was when Nexum did the Pokemon, was talking about his Pokemon mech armors, and it was the Guzzlord one which went out of control. And I didn't know if anybody would get to the end of the video, so I put a very specific ending in there. And all of a sudden on the Discord, Gopher Dude was going, I'm watching this one now, I'm watching it. Yep, he's watching it. Cool, great. Commented on a few things, then at the end he's like, oh my god, he just sent it to a random dimension. And I have to say, that was the best comment I've ever had, because that was the first time I've ever seen or heard of anybody going right through the entire video. So thank you, Gopher Dude. That made my day that day. That was just absolutely awesome. And I know people will skip through the video, and I'm at two minds on talking about the videos, I'm at two minds of putting chapters in on the videos. If I put a chapter in, people can skip to it, but if I don't, people won't just skip to the here's the final illustration, bypass all the lore, off you go, if that makes sense. They kind of catch a bit, hopefully. Why not create a character that's the creator of the multiverse who makes mini multiverses like the powerful... Interestingly enough... Ooh, sorry, I'm yawning because it's been a long day, but interestingly enough, I have toyed with the idea of a character that can create multiverses, or is kind of like he creates a particular universe. That is kind of something I have thought about several times of doing. I'm just not sure how to tie it in properly, but the multiverse is very confusing. Justin says, Benny Sharp offers Nexum a pizza, but he's too prideful to admit he wants some. Nexum tells Benny he doesn't even know what it is. Just like Benny tells everybody gophers can breathe underwater in his dimension. But yeah, no, I do like that idea. Thanks, King Corn. I'm thinking this is going to come out better than I was expecting. It's with all of these, it's really weird because I draw them and they look quite cool, but then I'm just going to get a reference picture up to make sure I've got the colours kind of relatable. But then after I've drawn them, it kind of goes down to the fact of the line art doesn't always do it justice. It's when you add and the flats. It's when you do the lighting and the shading that comes out really good. Okay, if Gustav was sent to Heath's world, then Heath and the other Kaiju Slayers could have a big problem. Yeah, Benjamin. The irony is, I don't even know what universe he got sent to. Benny Sharp just, opened up a portal, sent him through. Didn't really care where it went to. I think in the words of it, it's in the words of the video, Nexum said something on the lines of, "What did I do? Well, the only thing I could do, open up a portal, set it through, not my problem, they can deal with it. Which was quite fun. Go for dude, I appreciate it, and I know you always watch through them. You even watched through the 3-hour Multiverse story arc compilation video I did just to see if people would be interested in it or how much would get watched as a test, and I made it way too long. But you watched through the whole thing, so I really do appreciate, you know, your support on the channel. You've been epic. Go for dude. That's not actually. That's not a bad idea. I've just caught your comment about the shorts. I am looking for a way to make shorts work for the channel in a fun and exciting and a cool way, because shorts are kind of like a big thing at the moment that are pretty much going mental on a lot of things over YouTube and that. And I would like to get them working for me. I mean, the biggest proof that shorts are completely unpredictable, I planned out my Dungeons and Dragons short, which showed all 6 of the characters I'd done today with the question, what if Minecraft mobs were in Dungeons and Dragons? And then I put the so I did that, which was great, absolutely loved that. And then I put but before I did that, I put a little corgi toy wiggling along, just going, money don't jiggle jiggle, I like to see you wiggle wiggle. And that's already almost 4,000 views, that short. Yet my other one's barely got 200, which is built for the channel. I spent so much time on that, and a 10-minute random video has gone mental on it, which is quite good. Yeah, I know you saw that, Go for dude. That was a experiment, really, but I thought people might enjoy it. King Corn, Popquast does have the gopher, and we kind of have the fat blind cat, which is Loki, so we've kind of got him for side stories and stuff, which is quite good. But there's probably going to be more aspects to this where we add something. I know we've got Loki, aka the fat blind cat, so the cult master is fat blind cat taking over the world. I cannot speak for the life of me today, but yeah, it's definitely one that's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to end the poll, and I do like the fact you guys like Nexum and the moniker about the same for here in here, because I do have a few more. I've got them narrating a few videos coming up, or a video at least coming up, which is quite good. What pizza would Raina like? Oh, what pizza would she like? I don't actually know what pizza she'd like. That's an interesting one. I suppose the question is, what pizza do we think she'd like? She's a demon after all. I mean, I know Loki, the cult master, wants a pizza topped with human souls, really. Something to boost his power and everything on that, by the sounds of things, from the story we had from Gopher Dude. Thank you for writing that lore for that kind of special, throwing that one in the redraw. Why not? Okay, why not Nexum travelling the multiverse and suddenly the world started changing, universe after universe, then suddenly he sees a kid floating, disappears, and then there's a girl. Possibly. I will have to see how to introduce the new narrator in, depending on what narrator we go for. I'm definitely up for doing another narrator, and I do like the idea of a steampunk one. That's quite a nice, unique character, and I can come up with some rather interesting designs. And then meeting Nexum could be quite interesting, because obviously he makes the mech armors, so it could be very interesting to see what happens when they interact, which will be quite cool. Yes, Benjamin. Nexum and Demonica were flirting quite a bit in the Splatoon episode where they kind of first met, and there's going to be the story's going to build upon that a little bit over time, and the reason why as well. But that's something that will develop as we go along. I'm not going to give any major spoilers on that one. But that was quite good fun. A narrator whose world was destroyed by Loki. Tempting. I'm not going to lie, that is a very, very tempting idea, Gopher Dude. In fact, Gopher Dude, you've just given me an actual idea for part of the story later on. I'm not going to spoil it, but thank you for that. There is potential in that. Should be quite good. In feet. Well, if you're asking me, King Corn, I'm 5'9", approximately, I believe. But I'm at the age now where I'm going to start shrinking, so I could be 5'6" by tomorrow, no my luck. I probably won't be, but it sounded good. You're welcome for the third time this stream. Yeah, Gopher Dude, you're doing really well this stream, which is always quite cool. I know you guys like Nexum and Demonica for kind of like who they are, but which voice do you like out of the narrators the most? Which narrator's got the best voice, do you think, or personality, whichever one you're going to put down? Because it is quite good fun doing them, but it's interesting. If I had the Omnitrix and I could have any alien form from another franchise, what would it be? Oh... An alien from another franchise, what would it be? A Guyver. The first manga / anime that I ever got interested into, which got me into sort of like drawing anime stuff and that, was a series called Guyver, Bio Booster Armor. I read the graphic novel and I started watching through the original ones, and it was good. It was a very good anime and had quite a few good concepts, so I would say that would be my choice. And it's kind of like an alien armor that enhances physical strength, but it also has a ton of weapons on it, which is quite cool. No worries, Venomized Toothless. If you've got to go in a bit, that's not a problem. I appreciate it's getting late. I know the feeling, but I appreciate you being on the stream, and yeah, just let us know when you're gonna go, and I'll if I see it, I'll say bye, or I'll say, oh, okay, bye, Venomized Toothless. Take care, and I'll catch you later. What colour should I do as visor? That's an interesting question. What colour should we do? Go for Dude. I think it's you who likes this. I have no choice I need to put a colour in, and it's going to have to be an orange visor. Magenta. Oh, maybe. I'll tell you what. I'll play devil's advocate. I'm going to break half of the stuff I've got here a minute. Hang on. We'll have both. Okay, Ronald, thanks for joining the stream. I hope you enjoyed it so far, and yeah, be sure to check it out later if you want to see the where we get to. I'm only going to go up to the point of sorting out these flat colours tonight, and I will do the part 2 probably next Monday, so we've got it sorted. Okay, I need to take that clipping mask off a second. Add it to this one. Merge that down, and then we add the clipping masks. One of the fun things with clipping masks is they will, whichever layer you've got at the bottom as a solid one, it'll go around and it'll take out all the outline like an alpha lock. The only drawback is sometimes, and I say sometimes, you end up with it kind of just breaking a little bit, but that's not a problem. You got to kind of get the order right and a bit of trial and error, but thankfully there's an undo button digitally. Loki has trapped you. Well, go for dude. That's what you've got with cats. There are 2 cats, Mario and Mortimer, that I see on a regular basis over my other halves, and no matter what I'm doing, Mario comes up to me, nudges me, rolls over and wants a belly rub. Middle of my work, belly rub. I go to sleep, I get nudged in the head, he floops over and he wants a belly rub. It's cute, but cats are attention seekers. Nexum has the best voice. Fair enough. I do like Nexum's voice. It's the one I find the easiest at the moment, which I am quite pleased about that part, because it's obviously being the first real voice that I did on the channel. It's developed over time, so I'm quite happy to jump between them, and I think Nexum's the easiest voice for me to do, and I do have fun with his personality, but Aaronfold's the funnest voice to do for a story. Has to be the best one for me. You were supposed to wake up at 8 and you forgot to close your door, so who guess who woke you up at 7? Loki, when you went looking for him outside the door. I need to think of some more. Right. I've got to try and get the rule of thirds in here somewhere so that the actual design looks right, because, well, the rule of thirds is at least a third of your picture should be one colour, your main colour in that. So we're getting there, but there's obviously bits where we need to sort the colour scheme out slightly to get it how we want it to be. And I'm adding some kind of like neutral greys in some areas to just just kind of add to that. I think I kind of want to be cheeky and I want to add this. Here, maybe? It's sometimes difficult to tell, but I quite like the... Oh, yes, yes, yes. I've got an idea now. Felt like the Churchill dog then. Oh, yes. Well, oh, yes. Have I missed anything? Loki's trapped you, yeah. A poison munchroom, don't feel bad. If you've got to go, it's not a problem. Like the stream if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time you're on the stream. Steampunk narrator was a great. The steampunk narrator was a great idea. So if I do that, I'll definitely do a mention out to you for coming up with that concept. Look in the corner, playing the flute while Dempsey is just trying to go to sleep for work. And he is very annoyed at 3 in the morning. I mean Loki. I think I'd be very annoyed at 3 in the morning as well, don't worry about that. Is that the red colour that I used? Nope, that was... There will be, before Christmas, if I can get it working, I will be releasing some, let's say that, either before Christmas or just after Christmas, I am planning to release some merch of artwork from the channel. I'm not going to do anything from community redraws because that's people's own designs, and as much as I'm redesigning or tweaking stuff, I don't think that's fair. Unless I do that as like a post of all of them for someone to like download, rather than something like that, if that makes sense, and that they'll probably be free. But I'm looking to do some potentially, you know, make it so some of these designs you guys can get, which would be quite good. I have not planned it out properly. I've not mapped it out properly. I'm looking at ways to give back to yourselves in a sense, but also I'm looking at ways to try and sort it a bit so that we've got a nice steady growth on the channel and everything, because anything I get from that is going to go back into channel equipment and stuff to make better productions, or I say better productions, to, you know, just keep doing what I'm doing really. Dempsey a live stream, but it's just multiple drawings of Loki doing random things. Potentially at some point there may be a longer live stream. I have thought about it. It's not got past that stage. I will put a community poll out just to see what people think about if I do a live stream for like a day or something. That could be quite fun. Quite interesting too. I kind of feel it needs to be red as well. Or... yeah, that makes sense. I think we're almost done on these bits to a degree. say that, I need to get I will probably go through the flat version of this afterwards and just tidy up any bits of missed sort of like line art or something that's a little bit odd. Will that look right? Just want to make his head kind of slightly different in colour to stand out a little bit. Because ideally we want enough contrast to just right, that's fine. I think this needs to be grey for the last main bulk of colour. What did you guys think of this so far? Oh, don't worry, Gopher Dude. There's going to be secondary colours and stuff on this in a minute. I'm about to completely have some fun. I also want to know he's kind of a villain. I want to just I know he's rather colourful and vibrant at the moment for a villain, but I just want to just let just by adding a bit more of a it seems daft, but adding these extra colour bits now are kind of gonna give it a kick when we do the actual highlights and that, and I'll show you guys in a minute what I mean. Hey Fatal, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Totodile was my first ever starter, so glad it has a special place in my heart. That's cool. Well, hopefully you think this super villain transformer version of it's looking quite cool and coming out quite nicely. All I knew is that we were going to make a kind of like a villain. I didn't expect it to turn into a transformer villain, but there we go. Sometimes it's just gotta be done. Darker. Yeah, I'm doing good, Fail. I'm running on very little sleep, as all content creators do, or anybody who does like YouTube or anything. Sleep is so overrated. And yeah, just working through the flats on this to get at least the get a reasonable kind of bulk element done on some of this, and then pick it up again next Monday most likely. I've got got to go into the office next Monday, so it's going to be it's going to be my next day working on a live stream. I think that works so far. So if I merge down, let's like that. Hard light, and then just set up my layers. For anybody who's new here, I have a set process. So I've got a hard layer at the bottom, which I add a bit of noise from a brush that I've got, which basically gives it this dark texture here, which looks a bit odd. And then I get a nice bright color, a soft airbrush set to about 20% opacity. I set it to overlay. And then on the next layer, I kind of just pick out some highlighted bits at the top. Pick out the bit around the face, because I want the faces to kind of like stand out more. Ideally the light's coming from the top direction down. So anything that's kind of like on the left and up a bit should get picked up. Hence why I've kind of like got the shadows on the right. Then once that's done, I can go on to this layer here of a solid fill color, and I can just start adding details. So when we're adding our details now, because I'm on the layer that I want to be, the hard light, it kind of helps to bring the design to life a little bit, so I can just work through them. Sleep is for the weak, Fatal. That is right. Saying that, everybody needs it at some point. The body just decides it's going to cave in and go to sleep, and I've got to be up in 6.5 hours, so it's not too bad. Justin says, I'm considering doing a video where I just completely roasted the Elite Four and their champions of all Pokemon regions. Dempsey, tell us to scream at our artwork. They have feelings too. I'll scream at your artwork. Go on, scream at it. It's not a problem. I scream at my own artwork all the time. And then I think, oh my god, what have I made? And sometimes it comes out cool, sometimes it comes out a bit crazy, but it does work. Yeah, just working through the layers and just pay attention to where the light's supposed to come from, so you can actually do the harder or harsher shadows from where you want them to be. And then over time you just build up your artwork to have the light and the shadows where you pretty much where you want them to end up. But I think I'll probably call it a night in a minute so I can get some sleep before a busy day tomorrow. But yes, we'll definitely continue this one next Monday, which will be quite cool. And we'll have maybe we'll start a series of Pokemon as Transformers, which will be quite cool. I find if I scream while I make art, it helps. It does sometimes. I also find if I scream when I deal with people who are not very helpful at work, when nobody else is around, that helps a lot too. But yeah, I think everybody has moments like that. I'll just at least get the layers sorted for the kind of the head. So once I get the hard kind of like shadows in, I just add a light airbrush mode over the top just to emphasize them, and then I'll flick between the, as you can see at the top, the color, I flick between the shadow color. You can use black or a dark purple, depends on how much warmth you want, and then use a lighter color just to add a bit more to it. Pokemon as Transformers would be cool. Yes, it would be. And it may be a new series we start on the channel. If anything, it could definitely be something we can do on live streams if there's nothing really planned. Fatal, that's cool. The stream will start, it's 10 PM UK time, but I don't know whereabouts in the world you are. If you're like Koi, over in Canada or the US area, then I think it'll probably start around about 5:15, round about that time in the afternoon. But just pop on by and say hi if you're about. It's always nice to see people pop on by and say hi. It is quite good fun. Now I've got music, it feels a bit nicer to just chill and hang out. It feels like proper hanging out and everything on the channel, which is quite good. It's always nice to hang out with some, I would say with some cool peeps, but you know, you guys are cool. It's just hang out with some like-minded people and just chill and draw on that, really. Dustin, you're in the US, so I'm guessing it's like just gone 6 o'clock in the evening over where you are, roughly. Around about then. I have to say, I have noticed my art style has changed the more I do these illustrations. It's kind of a weird cross between Pop Crosses and my own weird style a little bit on some of these Transformer ones. This one's definitely a weird amalgamation. Wow. Fair enough. I knew it had multiple time zones, I just didn't realise they were that far. I say that far apart. Yeah, yeah, well, fair enough. So you're on the East Coast. Fair enough. I've said fair enough times. YouTube should have it as a special keyword. No, that's cool. It's quite nice having the ability to live stream with you guys, kind of, or interact with you guys from across the world, which is quite good. I have to say, I do enjoy it when I can jump on Koifish's streams and have some fun doing the game stuff. Alright, I think I'm going to leave that here. Has anybody got any questions or anything before we call it a night? Or are we going to just call it a wrap now and pick this up Monday where we finish off our character, and I will name the file. In fact, which name one again? I need to find that result. Cool. So let's go to the gallery. So we've got the Elitis Prime, and I'll double check that spell properly. For those of you who didn't catch the last live stream, we did Raina, our Demon Knight, which was quite cool. It's 2 parts on the channel, 2-part video, but here's the final illustration that we came up with. So she's kind of like the bodyguard to Loki, Gopher Dude's kind of like cult leader that we've created on the channel. And yeah, that one was a fun one to do as well. Gopher Dude's question is, what's the next main story based episode? The next main story based episode, in terms of, if you mean one with narrators in it, or do you mean one with the Department of Multiversal Matters? Before I just say anything and just spoil stuff. Gopher Dude, which one is it? Both. Okay, the next main one with narrators in is the community redraw, and we've got 2 narrators in that one. I'm not saying which 2. The next main story episode, though, is... Give me a second. I have planned some videos out in terms of when they're going to happen. Potentially, it's the Friday next week is the next main story with something else happening. Pretty much throughout October, we've got 4 or 5 videos with narrators in. So they're going to take the place by storm, but it's going to be happening. There will be some reference to Loki over the Halloween October month. I haven't decided how far into it is, depends on what's happening on the other video bits. But he will be making an appearance in 1, maybe 2 videos, even if it's a mention, just to build up his presence a bit in the story for that. But yes. Alright, well, I think we should call it a night there. It's gone 1 o'clock here and it's been good fun. Fatal Koi streams are always fun. He just knows how to make it so much fun. You're going as Loki for Halloween. That's awesome, King Corn. Right, well, I'm going to say bye, guys. I will catch you on Monday in the next stream, and there will be a video Friday, which is the community redraw. See ya.